This time on Rad Rat Video, we discuss whether 30 years of trying a trick is too much. Is it time to give up? Welcome back to Rad Rat Video, a channel all about skateboarding. I answer your questions on this series, Ask Rad Rat. If you have any of your own, go to radratvideo.com and submit them for me there on the homepage, and you may see them in a future episode. First one of the day is from Graham, who asks, do you enjoy watching skateboarding competitions? What is your favorite event? I love Street League, and I try to attend a live event once a year. Going to a live event would be pretty cool, but for me, I don't get into the competitions at all. I used to love vert competitions when they'd be on TV, when I could watch the X Games or something on TV. Vert competitions were great because they were so they were always super consistent, and you would get to know they're going to try that extra hard trick this time. Oh, they bailed that time. And then the next time, oh, they replaced that with something else. They want to get their safety run in, and then they tried again. Oh, they got that trick. They got that front side cab heel flip indie. I just used to love vert competitions. Street League, I just don't get into. I see it sometimes. They play it when I'm at the skate park. It's just playing on the TV, and I'll watch for a couple minutes or whatever. But I don't know. I don't get into it. It just doesn't feel like the right format to take in street skating. I would prefer to see a part. Or just clips on Instagram are more watchable to me than a Street League part or a Street League contest. That's just me. There's nothing wrong with them. I don't have a problem with them. I just don't get into them. All right, next question, also from Graham. What pros have you met in real life? Any good stories? Have they all been positive experiences? So I have met Jeff Wansong and Andy Anderson. So Jeff, we met up at a skate park, and I was hurt, which really sucked. I blown out my knee, and I couldn't skate with him. We just talked for a minute, and then he was off skating doing some tricks, and I took some clips of him, and it was definitely cool. I just wish I was able to skate with him. I think he was expecting that, and I think it would have been a lot more fun if we could have done that. Andy Anderson is a blast. Like, he is the most positive, nice guy in the world. And the thing that was so cool about it to me is, like, we met, and he was asking me for, like, trick concepts and, like, things that he could try for his next part. And he brought a notebook, and he's writing down ideas, and I came up with all this type of stuff, ways to incorporate, like, a freestyle thing, and then, do it at a street spot, and different ways that you could do it that no one had done before. That type of stuff. And then he was just showing me around and giving me, like, a tour of all these different parts, and this trick went down here, and we did this over here, and it was just a lot of fun. We got coffee together, and we got some food. We went to lunch, him, me, and my now wife. And, like, it was just a lot of fun. I'm like, hey, why don't you try this? What if you do this over here? And he would just do it. And he is so good. He is so good. You've probably seen, him skate, in another video. But just like, hey, why don't you try this? And he'll just do it. And if it's not first try, it's second try. Like, he's got everything. He is just so good. And that was a lot of fun. That was, just hanging out, cruising around downtown. Well, not downtown, down by the beach, and doing all kinds of stuff with him. That was fun. All right. Next question is from Raymond, who says, have you tried non-abrasive grip tape such as DKL? If so, what are your thoughts? Yeah, I reviewed it back in the day when it first came out. This was maybe 2017 or so. You can watch it for the full thing, but in general, my strategy for testing it, I had a freestyle board with standard grip tape on it, and then a new street board with their stuff. And I'm pointing at it because I brought a sheet with me. So it looks like this. They actually emboss their name in it now. So it's like a ping pong paddle. That's the way they describe it, which I think is a pretty fair way to describe it. And so my plan was do 100 kickflips, so brand new shoes, do 100 kickflips on this and 100 switch flips on standard grip. And the difference was pretty obvious. Like, it saved my shoes quite a bit. And when I first got it, it took a while to get my tricks back. Like, the grip amount is a little bit different, at least different from the stuff that I had been, on. It's a little grippier, I would say, than the stuff that I had. So I had to, just tweak a couple of tricks, move my feet a little bit, and then I got all my stuff back, and it was fine.
all the problems I had with the grip are basically gone at this point. So I got all my tricks back pretty much right away. One of the ones I struggled with was a frontside flip, and I finished a trick tip for it on the new grip, no problem.
And I skated it for a long time. The problem I had with it was that I would leave my board in the car and it would get hot, you know, and like the edges of the grip would come up. I got some old boards here. Any of them? No, those are all normal grip. Oh, actually, so here's an old board that I had some of the DKL on, and when it got hot, it would peel up. And this is actually quite a bit different from the new stuff. This is all like squares in the shapes, and the new one is all circles. So I saw them post. I think it was either an Instagram ad. I think I just saw them. I followed them on Instagram, and they posted this is version 8. And I was like, well, wait a minute. If I had problems with version 1, you've had 7 more versions to solve that problem. I need to try this. So it looks a lot more like professional looking, and I haven't set up a new board since I got it, so I haven't been able to actually test it out yet. But it's good. Like, it definitely does the job, and it works the way they say that it does. Last question of the day is from Nick. How long do you try a trick before giving up? I tried 360 flips off and on for close to 30 years before I decided a few years ago that I was never going to get them. Should I have stopped sooner, or should I try again? I mean, that's tough to say without seeing you try them and seeing how close that you are. Trying them for 30 years, though, that's a lot. And I think at this point, you've probably built up a mind block. Like, even if you could figure out the exact technique and figure it out, you might not be willing to land it, you know, like if you don't believe that it's possible to land it. That's hard to say without seeing it. But I mean, I would probably drop it if I'm being honest with you. 360 flips were never a big one for me. I was never good at them. My friend Tony could do them all the time. He would just casually throw them. You could do it down something, over something. I could maybe do one on flat sometimes. And now I'm decent at them. You saw me struggle with one if you saw me skating with my new Powell board, but after I got the hang of it, it's such a huge board. Now that I got the hang of it at the skate park, it takes me 2 or 3 tries. Like, I was able to get on top of it, and now I can do them again. But at the time that I couldn't, I just wouldn't do them. I would do an impossible. I would do a 360 shove it. You know, like, there's the 360 flip is a really good trick for a bunch of different things. It's an impressive one to look at if you're going to do it down something, and it spins 360, so it lands the way it started. So it's really good to fill time in a line. But an impossible does the same thing. 360 shove it does the same thing. You could learn something different that's impressive, that's not 360, like a Casper flip or something like that. Or you can even do a 360 pressure flip. You can do a nollie 360 flip, which is quite a bit different, and you might not have as much of a problem with that. So I would probably move on to something else at this point. After 30 years of trying it, the trick has decided it hates you, and that's fine. You don't have to be able to do 360 flips unless you're playing games of skate all the time. If it's like an important thing in your life, then send me a clip and I'll help diagnose the problem. But yeah, at this point, you know, if you've been skating for 30 years, you're probably not trying to go pro at this point, right? So just have fun. If you don't have fun trying a trick that's driving you crazy, then don't do it. Maybe you're more into heel flip stuff. I mean, I'm sure you know that by now, if you are or not, but maybe you're doing inward heel flips instead. I don't know. So yeah, I would give up something that is driving me crazy at this point in my life. But you know, if you have clips of them and you can watch them and you just have no idea what's going wrong, that's a bit of a different story. If you know what's going wrong and you just can't help it, then maybe it's time to let that go. Time to also let go. My voice seems like it's going. I've been recording for about an hour. But yeah, that is it for this time. If you have questions of your own, go to radratvideo.com. You can submit them on the homepage. That's what all these guys did. And I will see you next time. Thanks for hanging out.